No, that was comparative.
Yes.
When I was speaking about the boy child, I was comparing the progress
Yes.
of the boy child
Yes.
and the girl child.
Right.
But we are not yet, it is not yet
There.
celebration time.
Yes. Yes.
We still have a lot of opportunities and for the girls that are not exploited,
Yes.
they are not accessing. So we still have room for improvement as a society
Yes.
and as a nation to make sure that we optimize.
Yes.
We still have jobless girls.
Very sure.
We still have girls who are not going to schools. We still have challenges that are facing the girl child, and especially issue to do with teenage pregnancies,
Yes, sure.
dropout from school. Some girls in this country from some region cannot even access proper sanitation.
That's true.
So I would say we still have a long way to do. What we need to do is to do a balance.
Yes. Yes.
As we take the girl at a speed of 150, we still need to make sure the boys are growing at the same speed.
Yes.
So we make sure that the space is equal and the field of play is equal for both boys and girls. Yes.
Wow. And talking about the challenges affecting the girl child and the issue of sanitation, the issue of FGM, which quite the government has done a lot to eliminate.
Yeah.
The issue of ensuring that the girls transition to school, from primary school, they transition into high school. The government has done a lot in that area. And currently we are having this one major challenge when it comes to young girls getting pregnant. So maybe you just talk to us about that issue, about teenage pregnancies, girls and the boys engaging in sexual behaviors leading to a girl getting pregnant. Yes.
I think we have turned everything to be sexual in this country. The adverts. Look at the adverts on TV. You want to advertise unga. What does a lady coming in miniskirt has to do with unga? I mean, what I want to say is that it is us taking that direction.
Yes.
What you call modernity or modernization, I don't know, it is the 21st century way to do things.
Yes.
The media, we are losing it.
Yes.
Because there is a lot of display of sexuality that is misplacing the hormones
Yes.
of these teenagers. The way we are dressing even as adults, the way we carry out our own activities around,
Yes.
I think one, they are misleading and probably encouraging the unwanted behavior. Because even the way we relate, for boys and for teenagers to think about sex so much,
Yes.
it is because it is also being served in every sitting. They walk around as they come to church. There is this lady who is not properly dressing, crisscrossing the altar.
Yes.
When you go to supermarket, when you go to the media, the TV, every other time they have to feel very uncomfortable watching with their parents, because even the programs, the way they are getting presented. So we are feeding the mind with the wrong information.
Yes.
And when we feed the mind,
Yes.
the actions are the ones which tell us what the mind was fed with. So it is already getting satisfied. And so the reflection, what is exhibited by our teenagers is because we have already fed them with the wrong information. So what I would want to say is that we are going to have a lot of it. And I want to say that, for one, I saw parents acknowledge and appreciate the work that is done in schools during the COVID lockdown time, because we went bottom low, because the data shot up. In 2021, we had 152,000 teenage pregnancies reported, including the ministry started tracking we have data that we feel as part of our family routine.
Yes.
How many teenage pregnancies have been recorded in our schools?
Yes.
Meaning it is a concern. You remember the Minister for Education trying to thrash out those children that were in school, were at home, because they're already expectant and they don't want to go back to school, and encourage the chiefs to go to every home and make sure they go back. We were also given directives that we must allow them back to school, and we must give them an enabling environment. So I want to say it is a key concern, and we as a society has to ensure that children are getting educated. Most of the places that are affected are places that are regions that lack, children are not accessing formal education.
Yes.
And even those who were already in schools and came back home, because of lack of safety in homes, as parents feeling like just by the child being at home, you can wake up and go to work, leave them with food to eat, TV to watch. We did not become conscious that they may not be safe. They are with their cousins, but they may not be safe. So we have to make sure that the environment is safe. We make sure we control what happens in our homes. Who do we admit? Which people are admissible in our homes and who are not? How do we restrict? Because how did you remember there was a case of twins getting impregnated? No, two sisters. Were they three sisters or two? I cannot. There were three sisters being impregnated by one gardener somewhere in Coast region. I don't know if it is Kilifi. And each one of them got twins. Do you remember that issue that came during the COVID time?
Yes.
What does that tell you? That our children are susceptible. They are prone. We have to stem up. We have to come up with strong values that will make our children to be strong enough even to say no. And let us be close to them, because at what point these children were known when they were almost giving birth that it is even the gardener, and so the gardener had to run away, but has been there doing the same thing over and over until the pregnancy was exposed enough for it when the parents questioned. So let us make sure our environment, the homes, the schools are safer places.
So the ball goes back now to
the society, which are the parents, the teachers, the government, because during lockdown, it was, nobody had anticipated that. That was a shocker to everybody. You are grappling with maintaining your job, which is on half pay, when others have already been sent home. So you want to be very loyal to your employer, and you want to make sure you get every coin. Others were essential service providers. They want to be in hospital because they are nurses, they are doctors. But we left homes burning. So I really do not know. I don't want to blame the parents neither. I want to say it is a situation that came and it was new to all of us. Having children at home for 10 months, yet we are going to work. So we know how harmful it could be. So we need to be conscious enough to make sure that even in future when we send our children on holiday to their aunt's home, we have to be sure they are safe. Because most of these teenage pregnancies start with in fact, worst of it, fathers, uncles, cousins. So it starts there. The first sex encounter I know with this teenage starts with a relative. So let us not be sober. It's disheartening.
It's very disheartening. And I think, like you're saying, then it means that the learning institutions are very critical. And that is one of the things that we need to ensure that our girls are in schools.
True. Not only the girls, even the boys.
The boys, yes, basically, yeah.
Because some of the boys impregnated the girls, the same girls you're talking about. But for them, they were admitted back to school. They had no scar. There was no proof that we say it's an ongoing issue.
Yes.
So schools are a safer place for children. Let us empower and invest in schools.
Parents have not been able to, they need to be able to have a loud table talk with their children and talk about the issues to do with the sexuality, that if you do this, these are the consequences, if you do this, this is what will happen, so that they can have an open kind of conversation. Because, and this is something that we had said earlier, sometimes you can limit the children in everything. They need to know and empower them to be able to make some decisions.
Yeah.
When you're not there, when no one is looking, they're able to make the right decisions. Yes.
So I think my take would be, we need to realize that you cannot bring up a child in isolation.
Sure.
We would say we are institutions, different institutions.
Yes.
The institution of parents, institution of the school,
Yes.
institution of the church, and the society at large.
Yes.
We have to work together, where if a child makes a mistake in school, the parent will come and own up and not defend the child, so that we bring a holistic child, a child who appreciates all the stakeholders in the course of their growth. So my take would be to plead with parents, especially not to overprotect, but allow other players in the lives of this child to come into play and bring up a better child, who is the society we have and the society, the generation that is coming.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, speaking of teens pregnancies, I want to ask a question, and I know there's some people who are now popularizing this, and you being a church elder, taking care of about 800 children, there's an issue of contraceptives. Say that people are saying, let's give these girls contraceptives. What's your take?
I think we have not exhausted the issue of morality.
Yes.
Let us first emphasize on the issue of morality,
Yes.
because when we were in schools, we did not know contraceptives.
Exactly.
I am sure
Yes.
I learnt of some of them when we were in secondary schools, because we were taught.
Yes.
So when you give children hiyo kinga, you are telling them you are free. Go and do what
You want to do.
So we are going to have a society that is rotten. Let us talk to these children.
Yes.
Let us invest in mentors.
Yes.
Having a school, the secondary schools we should be having even what we call chaplains to complement the work teachers do. Beside the counseling department, we should be having chaplains employed by the government. We should be having the sponsor, like we have church sponsors, making sure they second people to these institutions to talk to these children. Some of them, it is because they are having gaps, and we can address the gaps. Let us not offer quick fixes that are not solving the problem. Probably for contraceptives, I would go for children who have problem with, unajua kuna watoto ambao pengine our society does not take good care of them. Kuna watoto wako na shida ya kifikra, and they can really be lured without knowledge. But as long as the child is okay, let us talk to those children. Let us empower them.
Yes.
We will empower them, and they can survive anywhere,
Yes.
irregardless.
Wow, I like that. The key is to empower them.
Yes.
And they can survive
Anywhere.
They know that. Going forward, let's talk about the issue of sexual harassment. And I think nowadays we talk about boys being harassed. Sometime back we used to talk about girls being harassed. Let's talk about sexual harassment. And what can we do about it?
By law or legislation, enough has been done.
Yes.
Because there are even issues to do with cybercrime.
Yes.
Even harassing somebody over the net, you know, that is already covered.
Yes.
So as in terms of law, we have enough adequate.
Yes.
The problem is enforcement. And we take things lightly. When a child report to you that somebody spanked
Yes.
or indecently did
Mhm.
1-2 things,
Yes.
we assume and ignore and see like it's just a simple thing.
Yes.
And our culture will say, you know, the men will like, here too, even in the offices,
Mhm.
a lady will report or your wife will report this happened.
Mhm.
Let the enforcers of the law expedite on how to do these things, to conclude on these matters when reported, because they are the ones who deter or discourage.
Yes.
Because if you go and report that somebody raped you or harassed you sexually,
Yes.
and then the case is taking 2-3 years, I mean, you will be discouraged even to go and report it.
Yes.
It is also traumatizing.
Yes.
And there is also the issue of making people feel like they are alienated by others.
That means then we need to be able to create safe spaces, just like we were saying earlier on, that we need to have a safe space for children, that in case those things happen, they have a way of communicating, be able to find help within the same space.
Yes.
Wow.
And on that area, because we might have, we need to understand the extent
Yes.
or the gravity of the issue of safety.
Yes.
Somebody called the Maslow brought the issue of Maslow hierarchy of needs.
Yes, sure.
The first level is physiological needs. Those are the basic ones.
Yes.
The next level is on safety and health. Safety is very key. So when you're talking about a safe school, a safe home,
Yes.
a safe church, a safe country, we're talking about where rights are upheld and are respected,
Yes.
where resources are safe. Just like we are addressing the issues to do with people living with disability,
Yes.
we have to learn to provide safety, facility and equipment for everybody.
Yes.
The old, the young, the teenage, yes.
Wow.
And that is part of safety.
Wow.
People who are trained to be good to people. The way I address you should be safe enough.
Yes.
It should allow you time to pour out your frustration. And you'll also be able to stem down on issue to do with
Yes.
people taking their lives
Yes.
because of the challenges they're facing, because you are giving them an opportunity to pour out and to advise them, to mentor them on how to live this life.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Thanks so much for tuning in for that amazing conversation. Kindly consider sharing this video with your friends. Let them know about this conversation. We spoke about safe spaces for children and the CPC curriculum. Talk about the boy child. Now we're just talking about the girl child. Ours is just to promote a conversation that matters. And a conversation around children is a conversation that matters. So from us, the bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you.